That little brown bottle in your cabinet might be the cheapest pest control weapon in your entire house, and most people have no idea what it can do. That forgotten brown bottle in the back of your cabinet may be one of the cheapest pest control tools in your entire house. Most people only think of it for cuts, but it can do far more than that. Every year, homeowners spend huge money on bug sprays, mold products, and exterminator visits. But for many small household problems, a $1 bottle may help you start fighting back first. Hydrogen peroxide is basically water with one extra oxygen atom. That simple difference is what gives it its fizz, its cleaning power, and its ability to break down organic messes fast. When hydrogen peroxide touches organic material, it releases reactive oxygen that breaks down cells at the surface. That's why it can be useful against mold, grime, and certain soft-bodied pests. And here's the part most people never hear. This same bottle can be used in your plants on moldy surfaces, in drains, and even around your patio. But later, I'll also show you the mistake you must never make. First up, fungus gnats. If tiny black flies keep hovering around your houseplants, the real problem usually isn't flying above the soil. It's the larvae hiding down inside it. For a simple soil drench, mix 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide with 4 parts water. Let the top layer of soil dry slightly first, then water the plant thoroughly with the mixture. If you see fizzing and bubbling in the soil, that's a good sign. It means the mixture is reacting in the soil while helping target eggs and larvae, and many plant owners repeat it a week later. Next, mold and mildew. Most people grab bleach first, but on porous surfaces like grout, drywall, or wood, hydrogen peroxide can be a smarter choice because it bubbles deeper into the surface. Bleach often cleans what you can see on top, but peroxide's bubbling action can help reach deeper into tiny pores and cracks, especially where mold likes to hide and come back. To use it, spray undiluted 3% hydrogen peroxide directly on the moldy spot until it's fully saturated. Let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes, then scrub and wipe the area clean. 2 important warnings. Never mix hydrogen peroxide with vinegar, and if the mold problem is large, stop and call a professional. This trick is best for small to moderate areas, not a full-blown disaster. Now, let's talk ants. When they march across your counter in a perfect little line, they're following a scent trail, and breaking that trail is one of the fastest ways to slow them down. With common 3% peroxide, many people mix roughly 1 part hydrogen peroxide to 2 parts water, then spray the ants directly and along the path they're following across the counter or floor. This works best as a contact spray and trail disruptor, not as a total colony killer. But inside kitchens and bathrooms, it can be a useful first move before the problem gets worse. If tiny moth-like flies keep appearing around your sink, you may be dealing with drain flies. And the real breeding ground is usually the slimy organic buildup inside the pipe. A simple method is to pour about 1 cup of 3% hydrogen peroxide straight down the drain. As it fizzes, it helps break through the gunk where eggs and larvae are hiding. Let it sit for at least an hour, or even overnight if possible, then flush with hot water. Repeating the process daily for about a week can help break the breeding cycle. For outdoor patios, some people use a simple equal parts mix of 3% hydrogen peroxide and water as a low-cost spray around chairs, railings, tables, and shaded resting spots. You can also target standing water around the yard because mosquitoes need it to breed. Even small puddles, plant saucers, and bird bath water can become a nursery if ignored. Just remember, peroxide breaks down quickly in light, so this isn't a permanent shield. If you use it outdoors, reapply before gatherings and after rain for the best effect. In the garden, hydrogen peroxide is often used against soft-bodied pests like aphids, spider mites, whiteflies, and similar leaf-damaging insects that weaken plants over time. A common mix is 1 tablespoon of 3% hydrogen peroxide per gallon of water. Spray the tops and undersides of the leaves, because that hidden underside is where many pests love to gather. If the pests are living in the soil instead, many gardeners switch back to the 1:4 soil drench ratio. That way you're not just treating what you see, you're treating the source. Always test delicate plants on 1 leaf first, and spray early in the morning or late in the evening. Bright direct sun plus peroxide can be too harsh for some leaves. Now for a very different use. Rodent cleanup. The real danger after mice or rats isn't just seeing them, it's the droppings, urine, and nesting material they leave behind. One of the biggest mistakes people make is sweeping or vacuuming dry droppings. That can throw contaminated particles into the air, which is exactly what you do not want. Instead, wear gloves and a mask. Spray the area with 3% hydrogen peroxide, let it soak for at least 5 minutes, then wipe it up with paper towels and seal the waste in a bag. Thrips are another pest many plant owners don't notice until the damage is already obvious. Silvery streaks, distorted leaves, and tiny black specks are all classic warning signs. For soil treatment, many people use equal parts 3% hydrogen peroxide and water, soaking the top inch of the soil once a week to help target the eggs and larvae below the surface. For adults on the leaves, rinse the plant first to knock them off physically, then follow with a light mist on the foliage. The secret here is consistency, not just one treatment. Fleas are where people start to panic fast, because once they get into bedding, carpet, and upholstery, the problem spreads through the house much faster than most people expect. One peroxide strategy is to add it to the laundry when washing bedding, blankets, and pet fabrics. People also use a diluted equal parts mix on carpets, furniture, and around baseboards. But here is the critical warning. Never spray hydrogen peroxide directly on your dog or cat. Treat the home environment only and use vet-approved flea products for the animal. To really fight a flea cycle, vacuum thoroughly. Empty the vacuum outside in a sealed bag, wash fabrics hot, and repeat the process every few days for 2 to 3 weeks. Now for the safety recap that most people skip. Always use standard 3% hydrogen peroxide for ordinary household applications. Stronger concentrations are a different category and should be treated with extreme caution. Keep it away from your eyes and mouth, wear gloves if your skin is sensitive, and store the bottle in a cool, dark place. Light breaks it down faster, which weakens the product. And don't make the mistake of treating everything like a DIY job. If you're dealing with severe infestations, structural pest damage, termites, or dangerous spiders, call a licensed professional. So when you step back and look at the full list, this little bottle can play a role in plants, mold cleanup, drains, patios, rodent sanitation, and more, all without buying a dozen different products. If this saved you money or gave you one new trick to try, drop a comment with the pest problem you're dealing with next. And if you want more smart home hacks, subscribe for the next one.